Here we go. So Sirte Pihlaja, CEO of Shirute, coming from the happiest country on earth, and especially this week, I would say we are very happy because it's midsummer and the sun is shining throughout the night, and we're going to have a big celebration at the end of this week. But today, I'm going to be talking to you about one of my passions about artificial intelligence and how to actually leverage that when creating better customer experiences. So far, I think that the discussion around AI and CX has been running too much around creating productivity gains and how to sell more to people. Whereas where I come from, I think that we should be doing with that saved time, we should be using that to create better customer experiences for people, for our customers, and for our employees, as far as employee experiences go as well. Therefore, I'm going to be talking about agentic AI, the next level of artificial intelligence that the big players are already talking a lot about, and specifically machine customers. So you might ask yourselves, what are machine customers? By machine customers, I mean intelligent bots, algorithms, and processes interacting on your customers' behalf to reach out to businesses independently. These are not just code lines of code or algorithms that are hidden in the background. They are intelligent entities making decisions, engaging with services, and forming their perceptions of brands, yours included. The two Gartner researchers, Don Scheibenreif and Mark Raskino, have defined machine customers as non-human economic actors who obtain goods and services in exchange for payment. And they have estimated that machine customers are going to be responsible for a cumulative worth of 30 trillion US dollars worth of sales in the coming 10 years. So it's quite a huge business opportunity at that. So we have all come accustomed to talking with chat assistants, using generative AI, LLM, large language models. So we know about interacting with AI through text, through voice, more and more through video. So multimodalities. What machine customers and agentic AI brings into the picture is pattern recognition. One of the things is, so as an example, what do I mean by pattern recognition? If I were to wear a smart wearable that was measuring, for instance, my heartbeat, which is probably pounding quite hard right now, my oxygen levels and other health metrics, it could identify patterns that are not common to my usual rhythm, and then maybe make a doctor's appointment for me, or in the case of a heart attack, call an ambulance for me. Machine customers can also think about their human owners' preferences and the instructions that they have been given. They can learn, they can predict things, they can interact with their environment, other agents, and also human beings. I'm going to be talking about a case related to this a little bit later on during my presentation. They have memory, they have long context windows, they have also reasoning capabilities, which means that if they have been given a specific instructions on what to deliver to their human owners, they will actually be able to create new tasks for themselves in order to achieve these. They have also a possibility or capability to access external tools that will help them deliver on these promises. There are already more machines ready to function as customers than there are of us humans. Today, there are an estimated 7 billion connected products. Next year, this figure will be 15 billion. In 2030, there will be 18 billion connected products. As soon as in 2 years' time, machine customers are estimated to count for about a fifth of all the inbound customer support requests. And Gartner is predicting that by next year, 4 out of 10 of you will have experimented with machine customers. And in about 2 years' time from there on, about half of the people living in developed countries will be utilizing machine customers as their digital assistants. in their everyday lives. So this is coming really fast. And according to another research done by Gartner, CEOs are saying today that in 2030, machine customers will represent a good fifth of their whole company revenue. So it's definitely time to start designing for machine customer experiences right now. What should you understand about this as a CX professional, you might think? Well, for one thing, machine customers might become your most loyal customers because they don't have emotions. They are not interested in brands as such or talking heads that are selling things to them. But they are abiding to the rules and the instructions that have been given by their owners. And they try to fulfill these and their preferences and their instructions as well as they can. And then, if your company is able to deliver for machine customers, they will come back and they will never forget to make a purchase like your human customers might be doing. You might need to start thinking in new terms because of the essence of these machine customers. So maybe think about situations such as selling free parking spaces to cars. Also, another thing that you might need to think about very heavily is how to make your organization ready for machine customers. Because at the level that the technology is developing, it will be very hard, or it's already today very hard for us humans to distinguish whether your customer service representatives or salesperson, for instance, whether they are talking to a machine customer or a human being. There are difficulties to discern between these two types of customers already. And these two types of customers should really be serviced in different ways. Another thing that is very important to understand is that there is an increased risk of impersonation in the sense that because machine customers can be created by anybody, so there's no need for any special coding skills or even having any experience of programming as such. So the people who will be creating these machine customers might not know anything about information security, cyber security risk, and so on. But I think that this is one of those things that can actually be or should be tackled by financial institutions and banks who anyhow need to be thinking about these things in order to deliver for any AI-enabled technologies. So this is something that will be solved for sure. So what should you be doing in your respective organizations right now? These are the 5 steps you should be taking right now. So start by forming a team and start planning for the future. Involve your executives in discussions around your approach and strategy. Try to identify how these autonomous shoppers could impact your business and the timeline for each of the scenarios so that you can create your machine customer roadmap or plan. Evaluate the different skills that will be needed. Train your own personnel or recruit new persons to help you out in creating good machine customer experiences. Decide who owns the development because there needs to be somebody heading all of these activities. Start experimenting and measuring your minimum viable products so that you can see that which of those MVPs are good enough that you should proceed and move forward in developing them into real fully fledged machine customer journeys. Then do this again and again and again. This is something that is not anymore any science fiction, even though you might be thinking that it sounds like it, but it's really a rapidly approaching reality. This spring, in April, in fact, we made this piece of research study in how well currently different organizations in Finland are able to deliver for machine customers. We had about 10 different industries and encompassing about 40 plus companies, and the results were not very encouraging at the moment. None of the companies are currently able to deliver for machine customers directly if they were to work independently, because there are no open APIs that would be able to welcome when these little guys come knocking at your door. But what we did in this research, we then decided that, okay, let's focus on the chat, let's focus on the email channels. At that point, we couldn't yet, the technology wasn't quite at the level to try out on the voice channel, but I think that this is going to happen quite soon. But what we did, we created this digital assistant called Assi, who is this very likable person, speaks fluently of every possible language, of course, Finnish being important here. And we decided to launch her and ask her to represent this small family with 2 kids, and had different kinds of tasks that she needed to perform. And then measured on the different aspects, say response time, the willingness to serve machine customers, because Asti would always identify herself as a digital assistant of this family. And she would always say that, okay, I'm going to take this decision making to my human owner. We also measured the time spent completing these missions that she was given. And we were also looking at the transactional efficiency, whether she was able to finally buy those products or not, or whether she was given instructions on how to do that. And also the customer service attitude. So we were actually, after the research, we would then ask all the customer service representatives and sales personnel that how had they felt when servicing Assi. And they were, let's say, happily surprised that they had actually been in contact with an agent, AI, and said that, okay, once they had kind of understood that it was an AI that they were talking to, the service continued as if they were some kind of normal persons. And I would say that the downloadable report, go ahead and go online to get it. It's free of charge to download it. It really acts as a playbook for all the possible pitfalls that you might encounter when creating machine customer experiences. And actually what we realized when creating the list of different barriers that we had noticed was that actually these are barriers for servicing your normal human customers as well. So it's definitely something that you should look into. If you're interested in knowing more, go ahead and get the report. Also read the book Customer Experience 5, and talking a little bit more about machine customer experiences in that. And I'm happy to tell more if you have any questions at the end, or if you want to contact me at a later phase. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Sirte. We're going to hold back for general questions as it is. Can I ask one quick question, though?
Sure,
just whilst I've got you here. And as Dan gets ready. We talk a lot about machine customers, and it might be the fact that some people might be thinking, my business is a very small business. We don't really have machine customers. But from everything I'm seeing, more and more organizations even if they're a small headcount organization, are using machine customers because it's a saving for them, right? And it's an opportunity for them to do more with less. Is that what you're seeing? Is that how you're feeling?
Well, 100%, because it requires absolutely no coding skills to create your own digital assistants. And myself, I have about 10 or 20 maybe nowadays already of those, and I just give them specific tasks, and they go ahead online and then deliver on those tasks. And it's very handy to have these digital assistants. And I think that it will start from the consumer businesses, but it's something that also business to business organizations should take into account, because more and more of the purchasing will be done by these digital assistants also in the B2B sphere.